So welcome everybody to the first of our webinar series for the 2018-2019 school year. I know it hasn't started yet, but we know it's coming down the line. We appreciate everyone's presence, everyone's taking some time to come and learn a little bit more about a program we're excited about, and it's our ERIC Yellow Dot program. My name is Mike Burke. I'm the PSBA Executive Director. With me here is Maggie Booz. Maggie is our Member Services Coordinator, Event Planner Extraordinaire. And on the line presenting with us as well is the chair of our Exceptional Learners Committee, and that committee has done all the heavy lifting for this project, is Daniil Girardi-Myers. So if you have any questions, like I said, we're going to keep everybody muted, but you have a raise your hand function that is part of GoToWebinar. We just find it easier to keep everybody muted because the background noise when you put this many people on a call can be kind of crazy and create a lot of feedback. So if you have any questions, you can either type in the question box, or we actually ask it's easier if you raise your hand, we can do that too. Either way works. We'll unmute everybody at the end. But again, I think the question function is the best way to go, and we can answer questions as we move along. So without any further hesitation, I'm going to introduce Daniil Girardi-Myers. Daniil, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Mike. I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on an afternoon that's getting close to back to school. We appreciate your time. So the ERIC Yellow Dot program, I guess let's just go to what we're going to discuss on the agenda. We're going to explain to you what the ERIC Yellow Dot program is all about, give you some history of our project. We're going to then offer you some tools and tips on how to implement that program at your schools. And then we're going to open up for question and answer. Before we do that, we want to just kind of put up on the screen the slide that shows all of our Exceptional Learners Committee. I'm not going to read through the names, but you can see it there, how many people have actually had their hands in this project and how amazing it has been for our Pennsylvania School Bus Association and Exceptional Learners Committee. Just a great group of people that we're working with, and I want to thank them for all that hard work. Okay, so what is the ERIC Yellow Dot? The ERIC Yellow Dot program was created to assist special needs riders in need of an emergency care that could possibly happen following a traffic accident when they may not be able to communicate their needs themselves, or the school bus driver or the school bus aide is not able to communicate their needs. ERIC stands for the Emergency Response Information Card. And a side note there, we just would like to thank Mary Spagnola and the Barker Incorporation, because this was an acronym that they actually had in their company. So it was a matter of Mary kind of bringing it to the table for us, sharing that, and we asked if we could, instead of recreate the wheel, let's use ERIC. And they were kind enough to give us that permission. So ERIC, again, stands for the Emergency Response Information Card. Now, what are the pieces of this program? It's basically going to be this ERIC card, and it's also going to be a yellow box that will have a decal and a disclaimer on it. So I keep saying the ERIC card. The Emergency Response Information Card is a card that shows, it'll have a photo of the student. It has a listing of whether that child is possibly ambulatory, maybe they are on the spectrum. How do they communicate with anyone? You know, is it possibly an iPad? Is it sign language? So that's important for your emergency response team to know when they step onto the bus. There will be emergency contact information on there, so that when the EMT, EMS steps onto that bus, they will have all of that at their hands, and it'll make it so much faster and easier for all parties. There is some vital information also that is on the form that your emergency response team was looking for, because we have worked with them. They have worked very close with us, looked at our form, and they're on the same page with us. So we feel that we've covered all our bases there. Okay, what is the yellow box? Well, visualize a first aid kit or the body fluid kit. That is the size of our yellow box. It is, yes, it's yellow. We were able to find one out in the industry. And that box is going to secure and protect all that health information for the student. And that'll be what we're going to spread in the word in our state of Pennsylvania, that's what you're going to look for when you get onto a special needs exceptional learners bus in the state of Pennsylvania. You find that box, and that box will contain all the information that you need for the students that are on there. It's, just a great way for us to be able to share that information at a crucial period of time. So let me give you a little bit of history on our program. So in the fall of 2016, this idea was born. Basically, the Exceptional Learners Committee had just launched our special needs toolkit onto our website. We were sitting around looking at one another saying, okay, what's next? What can we do to take it a step up and really assist the community out there with our exceptional learners? So we have some EMS team members that sit on our board, and they said, well, when we step onto or we arrive at an accident, any tools that we could have would make it a lot easier. So before we knew it, all this started to just come around, and the next thing we knew, it was Tom Rinkler at the time and Kathy Strautmeyer. They came to a meeting in the winter of 2017 and joined us in Bedford Springs. Great meeting. It was amazing how everyone had just the same ideas and everyone was on the same page. Then the next thing we knew, Mary brought to us a Pennsylvania Yellow Dot program. The Yellow Dot program, if you're not familiar in the state of Pennsylvania, it's actually a program that anyone can put into their glove box, and it has all of your health information. You have a yellow dot on the back of your car. So if you're involved in an accident of any type or you have a medical emergency, all your information, they know, the EMS team knows, go to the glove box. So we decided, why recreate the wheel? The program already exists. So what did we need to do? So we reached out to PennDOT to get permission to actually use the Yellow Dot program. And before you knew it, the idea of the yellow box was starting to happen in spring of 2017. Well, as anyone knows, it's not easy when you're working with the government. So just when we thought we were going to be ready to go and we had permission, then it was, well, we need endorsements from the state police. We want endorsements from the Department of Education. So we did get our endorsements. We started to put together some prototypes and share that with everyone in fall of 2017. We've kind of worked with our Director of Government Relations at PDE. We've had some great contacts with the Division of Director Bureau of Special Education, and that's Ann Hickson Herman. So just lots of conference calls happening, lots of great conversation. We've been challenged along the way, and what has been wonderful with that is it's just kind of created us to dig further and make sure we have all the answers that everyone needs. Let's see, winter of 2018, we kind of request for a final underwriting for the project, and we've had a lot of good feedback there. And then we actually had our first stakeholders meeting spring of 2018. We did have that in Mechanicsburg, and it was a great meeting. A little nervous on what we were presenting, but when we were able to meet with a number of stakeholders in the room and hear their concerns, hear their questions, and be able to answer their questions, it was just really rewarding. So that's your history. Mike?
All right. Thank you, Danielle. As Danielle mentioned, we've had a lot of conversations with a lot of groups, and this list in front of you is a list that will continue to grow the more we hear from folks and reach out to folks. But this is a list of our current stakeholders and partners, and you'll see it spans anywhere from the Autism Society to nonprofits like that, to government, to state agencies, to other educational associations, and of course the EMS groups as well. So it pretty much spans the list of folks that we've been very fortunate to be able to engage in conversations. And these truly are the partners that you want to have involved because they touch on just about every aspect of transportation and school district operations. And having, I'll say, the blessing of the state police and Department of Transportation, PDE, is extremely helpful. I will point out that as part of this project, we wanted to make sure that all of the documents that we put forward, and I'm going to talk a little bit about those in a minute, were reviewed by legal counsel. We're very concerned about FERPA and making sure we're staying within the law. So we engaged Gareth Bahoka with Stock and Leader. Stock and Leader is a prominent school district law firm in central Pennsylvania. We are also very fortunate Gareth offered to do this as a free service pro bono to the association. Again, understanding that the underlying benefit of the program is to enhance the safety of these students. Moving on to communication tools. So one of the things that we wanted to make sure we were able to do for our stakeholders and partners is to be able to make sure that we produce tools that you can use as you move forward. And Maggie's going to talk a little bit more afterwards about engaging within your district. So we're able to present, and we did this at our stakeholder meeting, and obviously we'll do this for anyone on this call, a sample PowerPoint presentation with notes, pretty much mimicking what you're seeing here, but the ability for you to take it and customize it for your school district and your population. An implementation guide for contractors, which we've developed. Again, these are suggested steps, but it's all going to be a little different depending upon your relationship, size of your district, et cetera, et cetera. A general population information sheet, a memorandum of understanding. This is the last remaining work in progress item that we're hoping to have finalized later this week or early next week. And that is to be able to put into your hands as contractors a document which sort of lays out how this program is going to be implemented and sort of I want to say, for lack of a better word, the rules of engagement. And we're having that developed with the assistance of Rich Kelly at RC Kelly. Most of you know Rich. Rich works with school contractors all across the state and has helped many of them in with any legal issues, development of their own contracts. So Rich understands the angle of how this will be approached as contractors to school districts. We're then going to have the final document also then go back to Gareth, because this is sort of like, point counterpoint. Gareth can look at it as a school district solicitor, because more than likely, if your district is going to require the MOU, they're going to want their solicitor to look at it. It helps for us to be able to say, hey, by the way, this document has been run by a school district solicitor. So we'll have Rich Kelly, who's good at advocating on our behalf and knows, the pitfalls and things to look out for. And then you'll have Gareth Bahoka on the other end, who can sort of play our counterpoint to make sure we've weeded out any problem areas of the MOU. Additionally, we have a sample press release that school districts and contractors could use, as well as our stakeholders, to talk about the benefits of the program and to really play up the fact that you're enhancing the safety, even beyond the great safety that record that's already provided by our industry, to look out for this special population of kids. We have an FAQ sheet, which will be going up online when we're in the process of getting the website finalized for this, but an FAQ sheet that you'll be able to get to help you, again, be able to answer any questions. These are questions that have been posed to us. Some of these were questions that the committee came up with to help folks along. And then the how to order, the yellow box, will be the order sheet that School Bus Parts Warehouse is preparing for us. We will tell you that this will come as a kit. The kit will include the yellow box, and the zip ties, because each of these boxes will need to be zip tied to ensure that the information is confidential and only is to be opened in an emergency. And then a logo decal that's going to be put on the front that will include the yellow dot logo, as well as a disclaimer regarding the contents of the box. And that verbiage has been reviewed again by legal counsel. All of this information is going to be put on our website along with the ERIC card, and then you'll be able to go onto that website, and in fact, you'll actually be able to order the yellow box online through School Bus Parts Warehouse. So all of that is the communication tools that we're going to put into your hands to help you out to push this program forward. And then finally, a little bit about what PSBA has done so far. We're in the process of getting a general press release out about the program. We want to make sure we engage industry publications like School Transportation News and SchoolBusFleet.com. As members, you've probably been seeing information in the newsletter. We've had it in there for several months, kind of rolling the program out. The summer edition is actually going to have some more information, including the FAQ in there as well. And then what we're trying to do is, again, as you move forward in your districts, you've got all these different stakeholders to engage, your school district, your EMS, et cetera. We're trying to get in front of those groups in advance of you. So we're going to be holding a stakeholders phone call in a couple of weeks to re-engage the folks that you saw listed on that screen previously, to find out when they're holding their meetings. So if we can get in front of those groups, it'll make life easier for those of you as you approach them to hopefully say, oh yeah, we heard about this at the school business officials meeting, or we heard about this at an EMS for children meeting, et cetera, et cetera. So the whole idea is to try to lay the groundwork to help you all out. And then finally, staff assistance. Maggie and I and Danielle, Danielle's not staff, she's got, bless her heart, she's a volunteer. But Danielle, as chair of the committee, we're all here to help. And we're going to be having further discussions along the line with school districts and all. We'll be able to share with you our experience to help you out. And again, Maggie's going to talk a little bit more about that whole engagement process in her part. So I think that's pretty much it for the outreach on PSBA's part. Maggie.
Okay. All right. So next we want to go over how you can implement this in your school district and within your company. So first, you need to be prepared to explain this project. So we want you to find a champion at your school. So find someone at your school or in your district who you know would support this program and help you implement it in your school district. And after you request a meeting with this person, you can send them a PSBA press release that, along with your request, that is provided by us. And for that meeting, you'll want to get some information ready, and that would include the number of children in the special needs program and also the number of vehicles. So you know exactly what you'll need, and you'll know how many yellow boxes you will need for your fleet. And next, you can identify who may be on your local team. And we're thinking this could be district contractors, district leaders, school nurses, special needs directors, and of course, EMS contacts, because you definitely need to get them involved. And next, and of course, as Mike already mentioned, you can always call the PSBA office for assistance. So the PSBA can set you up with additional information guides, pamphlets, and flyers to help educate the people in your community. So next, you'll want to host a champion meeting. So review the project background and stakeholder support so that your meeting attendees have a deeper understanding of what and who is involved. And especially if you let them know the stakeholder support that this program does have, that will give it a lot of extra, it'll give it a lot of weight to the program to see how many people are supporting this program. So then you'll want to review how the program would work within your school district to give them a deeper understanding, and talk about the children at your school district who would benefit, because at the end of the day, that's what this program really is about. It's about keeping these kids safe, and this is just an extra step that we all can take to do that. So next, you'll want to suggest a team approach and possible team members that would be interested. Like I mentioned in the last slide, that would be the school nurses, special needs directors, etc. And then you'll want to discuss an implementation timeline with your champion and with your team that you have created. So you'll want to set up team meetings to make sure that everyone is on board. You'll want to secure the information that will be on the ERIC card and secure the boxes. And then, of course, you'll want to have a meeting with your team, with your drivers and your aides, to make sure that they know what's going on, and then you can implement that training company-wide however you wish. And then make sure that you have your boxes on the buses. So next, you'll want to execute your plan. So holding team meetings will be very important to make sure that everyone continues to stay on the same page and up to date with the program. So then you'll want to obtain completed ERIC cards. So this would entail working with parents and the district officials to get the information you need for each card and for each student. So then, of course, you will want to obtain the yellow boxes from Bus Parts Warehouse. PSBA will provide you with an order form when you need it, and then you'll want to mount the boxes. And of course, training your staff on the purpose of the yellow box so that they all understand why it's there. And another great thing that you can do is practice an emergency drill with your drivers, aides, and EMS community. So this is a great way to make sure that the community is on the same page with the purpose of the yellow box. And of course, if there is an emergency, then there won't be any questions when an EMS person steps on the bus. They will have gone through the training and they'll know the drill and they will know exactly what they need to do. So next, you will want to help us spread the word about this program. So of course, you'll want to tell the parents, teachers, your drivers and aides, and the school board, because these groups will need and want to know all about the program, and the more educated they are, I believe the more willing they will be to support the initiative, because like I mentioned, at the end of the day, this is for the safety of the kids. And of course, there's always the outside communication. So that would be the general community, the special needs community, and your local news media. And we can definitely help you out with that. We can send you some press releases that you can send to news sources and like we said, your local news. And we can definitely help you get set up with that. And as always, remember, we are here to help. So the PSBA has already been asked to meet with some school districts, EMS officials, and contractor members to go over the program. So if you have any questions, we will be able to provide insight and suggestions based off of how our meetings go. So next, we just want to encourage you to customize all of this information that we're giving you so that it can meet the needs of your organization. So we're giving you some basic points, but feel free to add additional details that you feel is necessary. We do encourage you to add your logo to the presentation when you are giving this presentation to school districts or to your drivers, but we would like you to still include the ERIC logo, so don't take that off, because if it stays on the presentation, then it will increase the awareness and people will become familiar with the ERIC logo. So if you need additional assistance on customizing, again, the PSBA office is here to help. So we have our number down on the screen and Mike's email. Feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email if you need additional assistance.
So there you have it. A very quick, good overview, we think, of the program for everybody. We'll now open it up to questions and to any questions. We're going to unmute. I think we're going to try to unmute everybody. We appreciate your patience. Does anybody have any questions about the ERIC program? What we, what we will do is we record this webinar. We can also make the PowerPoint presentation available to everybody. Any questions from the group? Because your mics are all open now. If after you've taken some time to sort of absorb this and it's something you think you want to do, again, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to kind of help you get started. Daniil, anything from your end?
Well, I was going to share also that Mike and we at least know of 3 school districts. Grace is going into one of them for us. You and I are meeting with a school district next week. And then I think there was one more you said down in York County. So we are willing to come out and help.
Oh, there we go. The cost. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. You know what? Good question. The kits are going to be $9 each. And that is going to include, I should have included that, when you order the kit, including the zip tie, the box, and the logo, the decal, they'll come as a kit. They'll be $9 each. And again, they'll be available directly from School Bus Parts Warehouse. Any other questions for us?
There, I know you mentioned it, Maggie. Maggie or Mike mentioned it, but there is a good Q&A in our newsletter this month also.
Yep. So, being that there are no more questions, again, you know where to find us. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us and with any questions or any ideas, things that come up. We're always open to suggestions, input from the members who are going to be looking to implement this. So, Maggie, Daniil, anything else from either of you?
I'll just share that don't take a roadblock because we will work our way around that roadblock. So please, you have some hesitation, give us a call.
Super. All right, everybody. And we thank you all for joining us. You will be receiving a survey at some point when we're done. Appreciate your feedback. We have a lot of other webinars planned for the coming year, and that schedule will be out there soon. But if there's an issue you think would work well for us for a future webinar, again, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you all again for joining us, and good luck as you approach the opening of another school year. Thank you all.